Hi everyone, welcome to another Bitcoin weekly analysis. I'm just going to go ahead and see what the outlook is of Bitcoin for the coming week and see if there's any trades or what the bias is for this week. So if you go on tradingview.com and type in the left corner BTCUSD, you can load up your Bitcoin chart. You'll see I'm just carrying on from last week, so you don't need to start fresh every time you carry on your analysis from your chart. You'll see last week this was a weekly support. These levels in blue are your weekly support. Here is a weekly resistance where price then went up to make another weekly resistance, which is at the all-time high. It then made a double top, as I explained. It's retested the support, the resistance now acting as support, and it looks to be going back up to all-time highs. That is how I see it. How do I know this is the case? Because you can see it's still in an uptrend. You can see if you draw your trend lines, you can see it's clearly making high lows on a weekly time frame. It's made another higher low on a weekly time frame. You can also see that it's respected the resistance as now support, so it's acting as support, and you can see it's rejected it and it's going back up. How do I know it's going back up? Because if you zoom in here, you see this candlestick. You could see it's a double bottom, so it's made a bearish to bullish, it's made a high low, it then retested the weekly support. You've got another bearish engulfing candle, it's engulfed the previous weekly candlestick, so you can indicate it's engulfed this day weekly bearish candlestick, so now it's bullish, and you can see from up here I expect it to retest it and go up as so. So I expect it to go here all-time highs in the next 2 months, because you can see the last time it was at all-time highs was December, and then it retested it in end of Jan, and then you can see we were in a downtrend. A lot of people say that crypto is over, but if you just zoom out and have a look at the weekly analysis, the weekly chart, you can see that it's still in an uptrend. It's made a higher low, it's made another higher low here, it's still going up till it breaches this support acting as resistance. Then it's bearish, then the whole market is bearish, because remember, Bitcoin is dominant, it is the leading kind of crypto in the market, so whatever Bitcoin does, 9 times out of 10 other coins will follow. So till you see this movement here, then it's still bullish. So long-term perspective, still bullish. You can see for the week it's a green candlestick, so it indicates that we do have another, well, the last candlestick was green, so it indicates that bulls are into the market once again. If you go to the daily time frame, remember on the daily we are in a downtrend. You can see here, you can see price making low highs, lower lows, lower high, lower low, lower high. So it could retest it or go further to the daily before going down to this, or it could breach it, the daily, use it, retest it and go up as well. So, but we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. Currently it's in a bit of a range at the moment. You can see the last few days since the 12th of April it's been a bit of a range, so the last 7-8 days it's stuck in a range, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, that is the daily. And if we go to the H4, you can see here, this is a previous price action, so I've marked here the previous high low was a resistance with a support, sorry. So what you can do is you can update the level, because you can see it's in a range. I'll move the weekly, daily H4 support here, and you've got your H4 resistance here. So you can see it's been in a bit of a range, it's bouncing ping pong from one level to another. So when it gets here, we can look for sells to go down, and then obviously when it gets to the close to this H4 support, we can look for buys to go up. So that is how you can use the H4 as an intraday support and resistance. So we'll have to wait and see how it plays out, because price is in the middle at the moment. If it goes here, and then if you see a bearish closing candle, then we can enter a sell trade to this level here. Again, if it gets close to this level as it did here, so on Wednesday at 9 o'clock, see this candlestick, which is a good place to enter, you would enter a buy trade, that would have been your TP. So that's how we can use H4 support and resistance. And then lastly, if you go to your intraday time frame of H1, so when you're sitting on your PC or your laptop, or whether you're at work or uni or school or whatever, so remember this is today's price action. So to mark the levels, we would do it before London session opened. So you would look at this price action here. You look at the previous day's price action, which is this here. So that's why I've installed these breakers, so you can know what day, what price is happening on each day, like that. So in this case, to mark the levels for today, I would look at this price action here. So that would be support and resistance. So I'll show you now. Get the rectangle tool out. So get from the previous day high, which is here, to the previous day low, which is here. When price comes here, we look for sells. So you could have sold it here. That would have been your TP. You would have made profit. So now price is here. It's a bit of a fake out. It's going back up. You can see it pulls it into the market. It's going to be a retest to this H1 support, and then you can enter a buy trade to this level here. So let's just say you entered a sell trade this morning at 3 o'clock in the morning, if you were awake, on that candle or that candle, something like that. Risk to reward ratio of 2.6, risking 300 pips to make 800. So would have been a decent risk to reward ratio on that one. So that's how you trade Bitcoin. However, moving forward for the week, today is a Sunday, tomorrow's a bank holiday in the UK, so I wouldn't recommend trading. But for this week, let's see what the bias is. I still see it in a bit of a range. However, it's getting close to this daily resistance, so the bias for the week might be where it'll retrace, and then we could take a sell trade when it gets close to this level here. Take a sell trade, and that would be your TP. That's how I'd see it go all the way up. But remember, always use your intraday levels. Right now, I see it between H4 in a range. So if it gets close to this H4, sell. If it gets close to this H4, buy. Easy as that. And obviously, weekly perspective, long term, still going up. Still see it going to all-time highs in the next month or two. I hope you enjoyed that quick analysis of Bitcoin. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace.